Hello and welcome to Education at SSBJ online video tutorials. Right in front of you we have few materials, right? I have in my hand now a battery, 3 cells are there here, right? Connected each other, and this one is called breadboard, right? Some of you must have seen this, but not all of you. And we have some wires, and these wires are called jumper wires, right? These wires are called jumper wires. Now there are different types of jumper wire. Now this particular jumper wire, I'll take a different one here. You can see here at one end and both the ends here, one end is pointed, another end is not pointed, right? There is a small hole. So this kind of jumper wire is called male to female jumper wire. So you have even female to female jumper wire, as well as we can even have male to male jumper wire, right? And I have LED here, right? These are the two terminals of the LED. I have got a pencil, and then this particular object is called resistance. Look at this carefully. Let me tell you what is this. And I have a resistance in this shape also. So resistors are available in different shapes, right? And I got some white papers here with me so that I can write. So no more typing on computer. So straight away I can demonstrate you an experiment. Now what is that I'm going to demonstrate, right? Experiment is to demonstrate metals are good conductors of electricity. So let me write the name of the experiment here. Metals are good conductors of electricity. So we are in which chapter? We are in the chapter called metals and non-metals, right? Of class 8th CBSE, right? So this is the objective of today's video tutorial. Okay, so I am just keeping it aside here. This is what we are actually doing in today's experiment. But I'll take this opportunity to explain little bit more about these materials I'm using here, because that will help you in future to conduct and to do on your own many experiments. What I call this is a breadboard, right? So right in front of you is a breadboard. Now why do we use breadboard? It's very easy to prove that metals conduct electricity. How to prove metal conduct electricity? Very simple. There are 2 holes here. I am just putting this, right, female end on this side, or I can take this one side a male one, another side female one, right here, and next again I'll search for the same type of this one here, and then I can use these two. Look at this, I am just keeping this aside. I can use these two because these wires are made of metals, and outside insulation is plastic, right? So these are made of, inside there will be a metal inside, right? So the battery will supply the power, right? Electricity. Now I have got LEDs here. So what I do is I'll just insert one terminal of the LED and then take another terminal here. You find the LED will glow, right? And what does it indicates? The power supply is through metal. If the metal doesn't conduct electricity, it will not glow. Now, one more point I want to tell you here. Suppose this LED is connected in this way, it will not glow. So remember, whenever you do an experiment with LED, you have to connect it properly. It is exactly, this one is a positive terminal of the LED, this one is the negative terminal, and positive terminal should go to the positive, remember this, positive terminal of the LED should go to the positive of the battery, right? So you should see that it goes to the positive of the battery, and if it is not towards the positive of the battery, then it will not work. So you change it properly, and then it works. So I'm not keeping it for longer time. Why? Because if you keep it for longer time, it becomes so hot and then it will get fused. Now what is the way out for this? So the way out is we have to use in between a resistor. So this resistor helps to avoid excess flow of current. More current it flows through this will get fused. So resistance should be used in between. There will be some values for the resistance which you will be studying in the higher classes, right? When you come back to the school, we will again see that you learn about resistance and all. Okay, so point to be noted here, whenever you connect a LED to a power supply, you should connect in between a resistance. And resistances are available, you can call it as a resistor. And resistors are available, in different shapes and in different values. Right? So what did we understand here is that metals conduct electricity and metals are there inside. Right? And we all know that metals conduct electricity. It is just a demonstration. But do non-metals conduct electricity? And where is non-metal here? I have purposely taken this pencil. This pencil lead, we call it as a pencil lead, This is a pencil lead. And it's not actually a lead, it is a carbon. Or we call it as graphite. A graphite is a form of carbon. So we can call this as a carbon only. Okay? Right. So you can call this as a carbon as well as you can call even as graphite. Right. Now graphite is a non-metal. Please try to understand. It's a non-metal. But the copper wire which is used here is a metal. And we have just now seen metals conduct electricity. Now what about non-metal? Generally non-metal do not conduct electricity except few exceptions. Okay, now we'll try now. So what I do is I'll connect this one end and check which the connection is proper or not. Yes, it's correct. And then I'll be connecting this to one more female end here so that I'll get one end open here. Right? Now look at this. I'll just bend this one here. Now if I connect these two, this will glow. That means metals conduct electricity. Now in between these two, I am keeping this. Right? Now look at this. Look at this. Does it not conduct electricity? So your pencil conducts electricity, but the brightness is less. It doesn't conduct as good as how the metal conducts. Right? Look at this brightness of this. Right? If you actually do this experiment, you will find that the pencil becomes hot, even these terminals gets hot. Alright? The reasons and all will I'll tell you a little later. So this is important part of this experiment. Now, why is this then? Why is this? Why should we use a breadboard? Right? Now, I am just using a breadboard here to do the same experiment. Right? Look at this. I'll quickly finish this tutorial. I'll take it out and keep it here and insert this to these pins. And I'll connect this to one of the, this is okay. Both sides male. Right? So this breadboard will help you to have a circuit of your own in different manner. Now you can see here. I will not go in detail with this. You can simply chuck and take out these pins whenever you want. And look at this. Your circuit is easy. You can put one more even. I'm going to put it here. And if that doesn't light, see. So this will allow you to do as many as connections. Okay. Now, towards the end of this experiment, so in between what you have to do? In between you have to compulsorily keep this register, that you don't forget. Okay. So detailed explanation we will give you, and we will do again this experiment in the next video tutorial. Let me just open it and show you now what is there inside actually. Look at this. Look at this. That means these things are connected. So these holes are connected each other. That's why you give two connections here. You can take the connections out from anywhere from this till here. Okay. And then look at this. Vertical ones. Or you can take it as a horizontal for your viewer now. For your view. So that means this here we have dots. So this dot and second dot, third dot, fourth dot and fifth dot holes are all connected each other. So these dots are connected vertically, whereas these are connected horizontally till here. Alright? So many connections you can use. So this is a very good thing to do electrical experiment. Right? So what is the today's conclusion? Today's conclusion is metals are good conductors of electricity, but there is an exception. We have seen today that this, what we call lead, pencil lead, is not a lead, it's a carbon. And what we call this carbon? Graphite. Right? So carbon has got many forms. So this graphite also conduct electricity, though it's a non-metal. So if a question comes, give an example for a non-metal which conduct electricity, you can give carbon or graphite. Right? Thank you very much. Hope you have understood. Let us come back to the textbook. What we have studied in the previous video is to remember, how to remember the physical properties of a metal and non-metal using mnemonics. Like remembering the sentence, man called his lucky dog Sony simply, which will help us to remember all the properties of malleability, conductivity, hardness, luster, ductility, state of matter and sonorous property. In this video tutorial, we shall start with few chemical properties of metals. Now, what do you mean by chemical properties of metal? How metal reacts with different substances, and what are those different substances? Now, as far as your syllabus is concerned, I am speaking about class 8th CBSE. You need to study how metals react with oxygen, And then how do they react with water? Then acid and bases. I'm sure you have studied about acids and bases in class 7th. Now to start with, we shall go for a reaction of metal with oxygen. When the metals react with oxygen, now where is oxygen found? Oxygen is there in the atmosphere. So keeping metals openly, exposing to the weather is like supplying oxygen to metals. So like metal window frames, metal tables, all those are exposed to oxygen. Otherwise, another way is to burn metal. Okay. Now when the metals are reacted with oxygen, they give rise to metal oxide. For example, iron. Iron symbol is Fe, capital F. Remember, iron when combined with oxygen, O2, okay, Fe plus O2, iron plus oxygen in presence of water, right? Because water is there, you know, in the weather and what we call as a moisture, right? So combination of iron, oxygen and water will give rise to a rust on iron, and that rust is called iron oxide. The formula of iron oxide, please remember, Fe2O3. So the entire equation, I am going to read it. Fe plus O2 plus H2O gives, that's arrow mark symbol, you have to read it as gives, Fe2O3. Now equations you will again learn in class 9, but just remember, when the iron combines with oxygen in presence of water gives iron oxide. And what is that iron oxide? It's a rust which is formed on the iron. In the same way, reaction with magnesium. Okay, so you must have studied in class 7 that magnesium wire, you know, it burns with a bright light. So magnesium plus oxygen gives again magnesium oxide. So in the previous case you have seen iron combines with oxygen gives iron oxide in presence of water, and here magnesium and oxygen gives magnesium oxide. Now there may be some questions arised in your mind by seeing the equations there. There I have written Fe plus O2 plus H2O gives Fe2O3, whereas here in the bottom it is 2Mg plus O2 gives 2MgO. Why is that? Okay, now that is what is balancing of equation you are going to learn in class 9th, right? So for your syllabus it is not there. However, you just remember that when the magnesium and oxygen is combined, it gives rise to magnesium oxide. So in general, metals combines with oxygen and gives rise to metal oxide. Now these metal oxides are basic oxides. Now what do you mean by basic oxides? By basic oxides we mean when you take out the leftover powder after burning, you know, or you scratch some of the rust in case of iron oxide, or in case of magnesium oxide you will find a kind of ash which is formed after burning. If you collect it in a spoon and then pour it into the water, take a little bit of water from that solution and put it on a red litmus paper, you will find a red litmus paper turns blue. and you have studied this in class 7. When a solution turns red litmus blue, that is a basic solution, right? That solution is called base, or it can be called as alkaline, right? So what has made to form a solution base? It's a metal oxide. What is dissolved there inside? It's a metal oxide. So metal oxide gives a basic solution. Therefore, metal oxides are basic oxides. Remember. So look at the last sentence. Metals react with oxygen to form basic metal oxides. Now what do you mean by basic metal oxides? Because they gives rise to base when added to water. Right? So these are the simple reactions which is there for your syllabus. Remember this as far as your class 8 syllabus is concerned. Next we'll go for water. Reaction of metal with water. Right? When metals are reacted with water, they give rise to hydrogen gas and then hydroxides of that metal. So please remember this equation. Reaction of metal with water produces hydrogen gas and hydroxides of the metals. Sometimes some metals are not so active, so the production of hydrogen is not so much more. But some metals are very active, right? For example, like sodium. Sodium is very active metal, but it's a smooth metal. So sodium is very active metal, and when it is added to water, it gives a hydrogen gas and sodium hydroxide. But this reaction appears very simple. But this experiment has to be conducted very cautiously because sodium is very active. Sometimes when it is added to the water, it gives out so much of heat and a kind of explosion. Right? So sometimes metal actively reacts with water, giving out more of heat and hydrogen gas. We shall continue these chemical properties in the next video tutorial. Till then, please remember all these contents of this chapter, particularly physical properties of matter and chemical properties of matter, so that we can connect each of them and remember the complete lesson. Thank you very much.